our dreams. We all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a truly explosive night of comedy. I'm Rusty, and tonight, we are going to explore the world of explosives work, where every day is a blast, sometimes quite literally. So buckle up, or should I say, safety harness on, and get ready for some explosive humor. But before we dive into the laughs, here's a little joke my manager once shared with me. Rusty, your explosives handling is so shaky that even dynamite says, I'm out of here. Enjoy the show. While working as an explosives worker, this is what my manager said about my work. Rusty, they say you handle explosives like a bull in a china shop. While working some extra hours, my team said this. I asked you to be cautious with the detonator, not treat it like a TV remote. Let me share what my team had to say about my work just yesterday. You're the only explosives worker I know who creates fireworks in the lunchroom microwave. You'll get a kick out of what my manager said. Your idea of a controlled explosion looks more like an action movie stunt gone wrong. You won't believe what my team said about my work recently. When you work with dynamite, it's like watching a toddler play with building blocks. It's like my superintendent woke up and decided to roast my work with this comment. Even fireworks on the 4th of July are jealous of the chaos you create. My team's feedback on my work was quite the surprise. You've turned bomb disposal into a chaotic game of hot potato. Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my manager said this about my work. Your explosions are so unpredictable that even fortune tellers can't predict them. In the realm of unbelievable feedback, my administrator said this about my work. Handling explosives with you is like trying to dance through a minefield blindfolded. Guess what my team said about my work during one of our meetings. Your motto seems to be why diffuse it when you can just make it go boom. So, my manager dropped this gem about my work recently. You're the only explosives worker who thinks safety goggles mean sunglasses. Another day I went to work and my manager said, your explosions are so haphazard, even confetti cannons are more accurate. Picture this. My executive's comment on my work went something like this. You've turned setting off fireworks into a performance art piece called Chaos in the Sky. Here's a good one. My team's take on my work was, you once told me you wanted to be a fireworks designer. I think you misheard. It's not fireworks, it's fireworks disaster. Last week, my controller threw this curved ball. Your approach to handling TNT is like a game of Russian roulette with extra bullets. Just this Wednesday, my colleague said this about me. Even a fireworks display in a windstorm would have better precision than your work. Here's a good one. My head of department's take on my work was, you're the only explosives worker I know who takes blowing things up as a personal challenge. Picture this. My team's comment on my work went something like this. Your idea of a safe distance is as far away as possible, even if it's the next county. My boss's perspective on my work took an unexpected turn when he said, your explosions are so loud that the neighbors think we're having a daily rock concert. I've heard some things in my time, but what my superior said about my work was truly memorable. If handling explosives were an art form, you'd be considered a surrealistic genius. My team's feedback on my work was quite the surprise. You handle explosives like a toddler with a new toy, and we're all just waiting for the tantrum. I had to hold back laughter when my team commented on my work like this. The last time you lit a fuse, we had to call an ASA to track the debris in orbit. Here's a good one. My team's take on my work was, they say you have a blast radius the size of a small country. Just when I thought I had heard it all, my team said this about my work. I've seen more precision in a Jackson Pollock painting than in your explosive work. I've heard some things in my time, but what my superior said about my work was truly memorable. You make handling dynamite look like a slapstick comedy routine. In the realm of unbelievable feedback, my administrator said this about my work. You're the only explosives worker I know who treats a fire extinguisher like a confetti cannon. Last week, my controller threw this curved ball. You've turned blasting caps into a game of whack-a-mole. Guess what my team said about my work during one of our meetings? Your idea of a controlled explosion is one way you manage to escape the blast zone. You won't believe what my team said about my work recently. Even chaos theory can't explain the results of your explosive experiments. Another day, I went to work and my manager said, "You once said you had a blast at work. I didn't realize you meant it literally." Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my manager said this about my work. "When you handle TNT, it's like watching a magician pull rabbits out of a hat, except the hat explodes." My boss's perspective on my work took an unexpected turn when he said, "Even the pyrotechnics at a rock concert look at your explosions and think, amateurs." So, there I was on a coffee break when one of my colleagues said to me, "You're the only explosives worker who thinks precision is just a fancy word for random." Picture this. My team's comment on my work went something like this: "Your idea of a gentle touch is using a sledgehammer to set off a firecracker." It's like my superintendent woke up and decided to roast my work with this comment: "You've managed to make C4 look like child's play." The other day, my boss had this to say about my work: "Your explosive skills are so legendary that even action movie directors would hire you as a consultant." Let me share what my team had to say about my work just yesterday. They say you have a special relationship with TNT. It's like you're in a one-sided love affair. I had to hold back laughter when my administrator commented like this: "Your explosives work has a unique sense of humor. It's called explosive comedy." While working some extra hours, my team said this: "If handling dynamite were an Olympic event, you'd win the gold for most unpredictable explosion." So, on a Friday, my team came up with this gem about my work: "You're the only explosives worker who treats nitroglycerin like a stress ball." Picture this. My executive's comment on my work went something like this: "You handle explosives like a kid with a candy store, except your candy store goes boom." You won't believe the hilarious thing my manager said. "They say you have a sixth sense for making things go kaboom." We went for a team building and my team leader dropped this gem: "Even fireworks look at your explosions and think, that's over the top." One day, this is what my supervisor said about my work: "You make handling dynamite seem like a game of Russian roulette with extra bullets." One of my colleagues dropped this gem on Monday: "I've seen more precision from a blindfolded archer with a banana." My employer's feedback was quite the surprise when he said, "You've turned controlled demolitions into a chaotic art form." I couldn't believe it when my executive remarked this: "You're like a human fireworks display, except we're not sure if it's Independence Day or just Tuesday." Let me share what my director said about my work on Tuesday: "Your explosive experiments are like a Jackson Pollock painting, but with more destruction." So, my manager dropped this gem about my work recently: "Even the demolition experts are taking notes on what not to do from your work." You'll get a kick out of what my manager said: "You once lit a fuse and created a new crater on the moon. Thanks, NASA." Guess what my manager said during our meeting? "You're the only person who can make TNT look temperamental." Here's a good one. My head of department's take on my work was: "Your motto should be, if it doesn't explode, I haven't done my job." Just this Wednesday, my colleague said this about me: "You're the only explosives worker who considers a mushroom cloud a job well done." So, my team leader came up with this singer about my work: "You've managed to make C4 look like a child's plaything." Ever had your work summed up by your chief in a single sentence? Mine did. And it was: "They say your explosions are so unpredictable that they've become a tourist attraction." So, on a Friday, my team came up with this gem about my work: "Your explosions are like fireworks with a bad attitude." One of my colleagues dropped this gem on Monday: "You handle explosives with the finesse of a ball in a china shop, except the shop is on fire." Guess what my team said about my work during one of our meetings? If there were an award for most excessive use of TNT, you'd win it every time. Last week, my controller threw this curved ball: "Your explosions are so legendary that they have their own fan club, and it's called Run for Cover." We went for a team building and my team leader dropped this gem: "You're the only explosives worker who thinks dynamite is just a fancy name for firecracker." Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me tonight to explore the explosive world of Rusty, the Dynamite Dynamo. I hope you've had a blast. Remember, in Rusty's world, every day is boom day. So, whether you're a demolition expert or just someone who enjoys a little controlled chaos, you've witnessed Rusty's unique talent for turning any job into a fireworks extravaganza. And to Rusty, I say, you may not be the safest explosives worker, but you sure know how to light up a room, or a building, or a city block. Thank you all for being here, and don't worry, we've checked for any leftover dynamite before you leave tonight. And Rusty, let's hope your next job isn't in pyrotechnics. Thank you for being here and have a good day. See you on the next one.
And we all got dreams, we all want things. But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything?
Hey, I may be the worst at my job, but at least I'm entertaining. Leave a comment down below and let me know what your manager is saying about your work. And if you didn't enjoy this show, well, I promise I'll try even harder to disappoint you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, stay employed and keep smiling.